We live? I think we're live. Sorry about that, guys. My computer, I don't know. I don't know what happened. The stream was brought down. Somebody shut down the stream. The Nintendo ninjas got me. It was those Nintendo ninjas. They got me, man. They got me. Yeah, listen, they got me. It wasn't letting me go live. I was kind of worried because it wasn't letting me go live. It finally let me after a while. It was not letting me go live for whatever reason. Is anyone on the Twitch side? We talk about the prices. They won't silence me. I'll keep talking about it. I know. I'm not saying anything illegal, so. Not doing or saying anything illegal, so. It's on them. Nah, this wasn't Nintendo. Is it crashed? Like my OBS crashed. YouTube crashed or something. It was kind of like a freak accident. I'm not sure what happened. That's okay. No problem, MacBook. I appreciate you. Sorry, guys. Yes, sir. What? Hi, sir. Welcome back. Yeah, we had it's a shame that the people now don't know that I'm live. We had like some cool people here talking about stuff and all, but now people don't know if I'm live or not. It's a shame because I have no way of sharing this. I couldn't use the other stream I was using. Yes, sir. Thank you. No problem. No problem. You're here, Savage. Good to know. Is Jen here? Jen is not here. Jen's at work. I give her all the love. Yeah. Let me see if I can find the thing. Let me see if I can find it, by the way. Oh, this is... Alright. Let's go to the Nintendo channel here, see if we can find it. Sorry about that, guys. That was a mood breaker. That was a mood breaker right there. Treehouse. I think it might be this one.
Hi everyone again. My name is Teresa. For those of you just tuning
I think
in,
this is the one.
Nintendo Treehouse Live Nintendo Switch 2. I am joined here by...
This is a second run go around, so not that one. I think it might be this one.
There, so you were...
Yeah, there we go.
Off of him, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've seen the new flow.
No, it's not. Perhaps this.
Worked our way out of here.
No, not this one.
Worry. I think
Which was the one? They might have done away with it. There was one I know it was Mario Kart. And you can see her like glancing, like she's talking, and you can see her like glancing to the side, like away from the panel. She's at the end. She's at the end of the couch, so she's looking away from everyone else. And you can see that she's looking at something, and you can see her reaction, like she's looking, and she's like, you can see like like how uncomfortable she is, right? Da-da-da. Perhaps here. Possibly. I don't know where it was. It might be on this one. It might be on this one. But she says Teresa
Hi everyone
again.
My name is Teresa. For those of you just tuning in, this is Nintendo Treehouse.
That we're in a multiplayer kind of, like I said, knockout tour. We've dialed it
Yeah,
up.
it's not this one. This is
time, and we've
this not this
also
one.
turned
I
up
can't.
calm
I,
difficulty to hard. If you
oh,
think
look,
that we're
look
up
at
for
her!
it.
Look at her! Look at
So we're
her!
up for it.
We gotta
I'm
ramp
up
it up
for
a little bit for Corey and BK. These are no.
Wait, wait, look
Yeah.
at her! Look at her!
You guys are pretty good at this. I
Wait,
wanna
wait,
see-
wait, wait! Go back! Go
Could be
back!
Turned up calm difficulty to hard.
Look, look!
150
This is what she's doing. Look at her looking at the chat. You see her looking at the chat? I think that's her looking at the chat. This guy's like a spring chicken. He's more erect than a building. Holy crap!
CC this time.
And she's like, eh, you see the little stanky face? Because the TV is right here, unless there's another monitor there where the chat is. And you can see her reaction. Look at the eyebrow. Look at the eyebrow.
Playing again, like I said, knockout tour. We've dialed it up.
Look, you see her perching the lips? They doing this? Uncomfortable.
We're gonna be 100.
Looks over. Are they still saying drop the price? This guy just spotted a squirrel or something. This guy here just saw a squirrel, man. I don't know what he saw, but he's liking it. Hey, truly welcome in. Just getting here, but did you see the delayed because of, yeah, I actually made a video on it. I don't know. I have a video up on it. And I also have debated it here. They did? Yeah, Benito, you didn't see that, Benito? Yeah, because of the tariffs, Nintendo canceled the pre-orders to America. Indefinitely. So you're supposed, the 9th is when you were going to pre-order. I've been working all day. It makes sense. Yeah, no. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're busy. It makes sense. But yeah, so the pre-orders were to start the 9th of this month. Right. Welcome back, Matt. Glad you found the stream again. Hopefully we don't crash again. So they were supposed to start the 9th, and Nintendo, with an official Nintendo thing, spokesperson, whatever, came out and said to the news outlets like IGN, Polygon, all that, and they said that for the US, because of ongoing tariffs, they were going to delay all the pre-orders when it comes to the Switch 2 indefinitely. Okay, so they don't know when it's going to resume, and they said they're going to hold it indefinitely until they figure out what to do about the tariffs and if they're going to raise the cost, which there is a good chance the cost is going to raise. They're going to raise the cost. Now, if they raise it at 46%, which is what the US raised them. Yeah, this is only for the US, yes. If they raise it at 46%, we're looking at a console. The console could go up to $600 and something. But this is a doomsday scenario. I don't think, again, I think this whole tariff thing is going to blow away. Like I said, the administration said that it's going to be forever. But I don't fully trust that. I mean, tariffs have been coming on and off for ever since this new administration, so I'm not too confident that they're just going to stay. So we might not see a price increase. We might see a 10% increase, which would mean $45 more dollars. So we'll have to see. But there is a good chance that the price of the console will go up because Nintendo actually stopped. They wouldn't have stopped the pre-orders if they were like, oh, we're just going to keep the same price, right? If they did something as drastic as to stop the pre-orders for one of their biggest buyers, which is the US, it's because they're going to change something. Or if they're not going to change it, they're highly considering it. And it's not going to go down. I can guarantee you the price is not going to go down. So we might be seeing another price hike for the US in terms of the Switch 2. Yeah, Smash 2 has not been announced or anything. They announced Sakurai was working on Kirby Racers. So no Smash. But you can see her. Look, the TV is right here on this spot. You can see they're all looking at the TV, and you'll see that she'll look at the TV again. This is her. The chat is right here, right? I assume. I can't prove this. I can't prove this, but this is my intuition. And you could see, look at her, glance at the chat, and look at her reaction. I assume. I can't prove this. Again, this is me assuming things. Look. She's already looking. Look at the eyebrow raise. Look at the really tight lips there.
It up. We're going to be
Glances over. Chat. Right there.
150 cc this time.
And then she's like, whoops, don't look at that. Eyebrow raised again. She's like, whoops, don't look at that. Oh, it's the same. That was a confirmation look. Right there. The reason why she didn't stay and read any of the messages was because she glanced over just to check if people were still saying drop the price. This is not the exact one I saw, but this is another example of similar of what I actually was talking about.
And we've
And look at, you know, when someone is like, you know, when you do that, like, you know, look at her expression. She does the watch. Look at her do the, you can see it. You totally see it. This is a small camera, but you can totally see it. Watch her micro expression. Watch her go like, you know, like when you're like, something is like cringe or something like that, and you don't like it, and you're like, you know, watch it.
And we've also turned up calm difficulty to hard if you think we're up for it.
We gotta ramp it up a little bit for Corey and BK. These are no
Yeah,
amateurs here.
you guys are pretty good at.
And she looks, did you see her look at the chat again? She's like, yep, this chat is, either she's looking at a, like, a footage of herself to see how she's looking. To be fair, there could be a monitor for them to see themselves. She could be looking at that, but I think, or perhaps they have no access to chat. I'd find that hard to believe. I don't know. I could be talking out of my butt, but that's how it strikes me, at least. I could be talking out of my butt here, but hi 11, I'm Ghostly. Ew, welcome in, good boy. Welcome in. I'm excited for Kirby Air Riders. I don't know, man. Dude, this sounds like a freaking air conditioner brand. I don't know what to say about that, Kirby Air Riders. I don't know what to say about that. I'm excited for Bonanza, and I'm excited for the GameCube stuff. I want to see the game chat. Bro, look at the game chat. This looks... This is Discord, right? This is Nintendo Discord. This is Nintendo Discord right here. Yeah, it's Discord. It's exactly like Discord. The layout is the same. This is 100% Discord.
Might
Might have been me.
I'm gonna boomerang right back at you, Cal.
What I have a problem with is this frame rate. This frame rate is abysmal, and I will give him that. You know, I will say it's hard. It's gonna be hard to have like 5 people in a call. 5 or 4? 4 people in a call. I think it's 4. Yeah, because the guy with the nabbit is down there and up there. Playing Jamboree, let's go. It would be very hard for them to be able to put at least 30 FPS here.
Oh
but...
my gosh. Wow.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Get through.
Aggressive.
Oh my gosh, barely.
Yeah, this is looking slightly rough down here.
Really?
Slightly
Thanks to
rough.
a boomerang that a cow threw at me. Was it you or was it
a
different
cow?
That was me. That was definitely me. I'm sorry. It's just like whatever is the nearest target.
Yeah, I just thought you were gonna blame
Oh
somebody
boy.
else.
Yeah, it looks
Like
very
one of the
bad.
other mini cows.
Oh, one of the other cows. Yes.
The frame rate on the camera is not horrible. The
You know,
frame
we were
rate on the
there
camera is
before
not
we
horrible,
got here.
but the microphone is abysmal. For all the filters that they have on there,
Just walking around with boomerangs.
Yeah.
I think that
their
this
territory.
the quality of this microphone is very low. And I don't really have a problem with it. I really don't.
Here we go.
Ooh, all right. We are.
Oh, Meowie. I don't know if Meowie's here, but look at this, Meowie. I told you to pay attention when they hit people with something. Look. See that? That looks pretty cool. When she hits the other person, it would have just laughed at them. They were polite, yeah. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, exactly, Egg. That's exactly my opinion. I can see why it's rough. Like it's 4 streams going at the same time. But it happens with one stream as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was one where they did 2, and it was still happening.
Ooh, all right. We are about, what, 2/3 of the way through this segment, so trying to near the front of the pack here.
Yeah, it says boom. And if you use the horn, Meowie, if you use the horn, it goes like, it does a sound to like the letters, like the comic letters show up too, and I think they make a screech sound or whatever. By the way, I'm going to take this moment, guys, to do a little plug in here. Guys, check this out. Check this baby out. You see that? Check that baby out. See that? If I get close, it messes with. Check that baby out. This here, this is official Frosty merch. This is official Frosty merch. Check this. Imagine putting this sticker in your car. Imagine putting this sticker in your car. It's only $5, man. Imagine putting this sticker in your car. Dude, check out this merch. This is good quality. This is embroidered in there. This is embroidered. This is actually handmade. It's very good. I really like it. I think it's very cool. So this is the Frosty merch. If you guys want to check it out, it's there. Trying to get you guys pimped out. You put the sticker on my heart. You put it on your heart. Like, where did you put it, you silly goof? I think I remember asking Johanna, but she said she didn't know. Where did you put it, dude? You can see that it still has the terrible frame rate and resolution in the guy's own call screen. Yeah, on his own. Yeah, right down here. You're right. I'm kind of hiding it, but yeah. No, you're right. It still has the bad resolution. Yeah, absolutely. And we know that even if you click it, like even if you click it and you full screen, not full screen, but you amplify the image of any of these guys, it'll still look choppy as heck. It's not like if you bring it up like this one, it'll get better. Because we've seen this in the actual direct. Like they showed it. Probably going on my laptop. You got to check out my laptop right here. Look at what I have on my laptop right there, Carl. You know what that is? I should have centered it now that I look at it. Kind of like offset. You see what that is? Does anyone recognize that? The Nintendo seal. Oh, you guys could see it. I didn't know if you could see it well. Yeah, it is a Nintendo seal. The official seal of quality. I didn't know if you guys could see it properly, but there you go.
I just got passed by Kendra.
This is a Microsoft laptop, by the way. I just put that for fun. I got it. I bought a. What was it that I bought? That was.
Come on.
That's when you're glad.
I forget what it was that I got. That was official Nintendo merch, and
certainly not now.
I took the seal off of it and put it on my laptop.
Oh my gosh! I went off-roading. I wanted to do pit stop.
Same.
That was terrible.
Yeah, we've seen this course quite a bit. We know what this is. This is a bag of food, right? So it's usually in front of one of these stops. So you'll always see it in front of like some sort of like store or something like that. And there's always a blue Yoshi working there. And once you get it, you kind of like wonder seed into a different outfit, and that's how you unlock outfits. Yeah, it's a skin change, but it also unlocks the outfit. So if you get like Rockstar Mario or whatever, this is not a thing, I'm just making it up, but just an example. If you unlock like Rockstar Mario, that's how you unlock the actual skin. Yeah, I don't know if it's 100% rate, like you'll get it for sure, but I know that It's been shown in one of these tree houses.
Blast through.
Dr. Mario would be interesting.
Go, Teresa. You got it.
The burgers look delicious.
No, I'm not gonna make it, guys.
It's like a 5-stack burger. Like there's like
No.
there's like 5 burgers in that
okay.
baby.
I will now comment on what you guys are doing.
We will
Yeah, now
do
you
you.
can
Oh,
actually
Theresa
focus
was
on
left
us a
behind.
little bit more.
Theresa is my favorite though. Yeah, this mic quality is
I
absolutely
need to make up some ground,
this
or I'm
is
gonna get cut.
1997 microphones. I'm not surprised. I mean,
Kendra, you're,
it's a built-in
not too far
microphone. The
behind.
console's
You're in a
already
good spot.
overcompensating so much in a lot of ways. So I'm
Worried
not
about
surprised that the
Sam back there. He's
microphone
gonna
is
get amazing
butt.
items.
Yeah, so Sam's on 6, Kendra's
need
3rd.
something.
Oh no. Getting close to that.
Hi,
cutoff.
Will. Welcome in.
Oh yeah, Kendra, Corey, you guys are neck to neck.
You can really hear it more on the
Penguin
girl's
taking the
voice.
crown.
You hear a little bit of echo. You hear the staticness of it a little bit, right? There might be a noise gate on this thing, which means that it stops. I don't think there is a noise gate on this thing, actually. There might be a like a noise suppression. Yeah, noise suppression. But not a noise gate. It doesn't sound crisp like a noise gate. I wish somebody would say something. I'm trying to...
There's like a
On my
strategy here,
screen.
right? Wondering
my
if
No, there's no noise gate. There's a little bit of overtones at the end of their phrases, right? Unless the noise gate is very well threshold. The threshold is very good with it, but I don't think this is a low quality product. The microphone is a low quality. Yeah. Yeah, the microphone is low quality. It does have filters on it, and they advertise the crap out of that. But perhaps when you actually have the console and I actually listen to it, perhaps it would be better than this here. But as it stands, it sounds like a webcam microphone, right? It sounds like the webcam you had when you were in MSN, just typing your friends from high school back in 2002. Given that there's an in-audio jack on the Pro Controller, I assume you can connect your own headphones and stuff. Yes. Yes, you can. The one on the Pro Controller, I don't know if it's for headphones or a microphone. Did they say anything about the microphone on the Pro Controller having a microphone? I mean, it must, right? It must have a
so
microphone.
hang on to the protection.
I don't
or-
remember.
I don't want that mushroom. Don't get that banana.
So
Oh,
my
no.
screen, I'm
Oh.
spectating, and I'm able
Oh,
to
no.
see.
They didn't say anything, Carl?
Cameras will
It does not.
rotate
Oh, it
through
does not.
over
It has an
surface.
audio jack.
Deserve
Oh,
that.
an audio jack.
Deserve
Okay.
that fall.
So it's just for headphones, yeah.
I'm joining the ranks of the spectators.
Oh, is it just Kendra and I as the humans
It's
now?
just the
It
two of you
is.
now.
Oh,
Good luck.
man.
2 comms. All right. Kendra, we can't.
Because
lose
the
to
mic is built into the
CPU.
console.
Okay, yeah, we gotta.
Yeah,
for
but
sure, we
my-
gotta
You can
keep
look
it real
here. I'll show you this. Not to make comparisons, I know they're different, but
items?
whatever.
Oh, I don't know
We'll make a
about
little bit
these.
of a comparison here. This here is a PlayStation 5 controller.
Or Spike.
Kendra can
and
hold on to that super horn.
if you look down
Yeah,
there,
like,
I don't know if you can
I
spot
can
it.
just catch up.
It's
The camera is
final
not letting.
stretch.
There's a microphone
Oh,
button here if you've
what did
ever
I
seen
say?
a
It was
PlayStation
very
5
easily.
controller. There's a
I had
microphone
my
button
sights on
right there. So
Penguin.
this thing
I was there
actually
with the
has a
horn, I was ready,
microphone.
but
I
Penguin
wanted
just-
to
So
say
that's
you
kinda
were
why
raised
I
for
was-
humans, but you're also a cow. So
Perhaps you could see it
that
better on this
feels
one.
awkward.
You see
Defeated by
that?
the penguin.
See that right there?
Good match, everyone.
There's a
what do you
little
say we
knob
get,
there.
head
That's
back to
that's
the
a
lobby
microphone
really
button.
quickly in free roam and at least get a quick photo together.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Photo
I
op.
think we're all in the same area
Um,
here.
Yeah, that official
I'll,
Switch
I'll take a
headset with a
photo.
mic on it will be.
What a crew.
So-
It will
Look at
finally
this.
have a use.
All
Yeah.
right, let's commemorate.
The Switch doesn't have a microphone,
match
right?
here.
No. The original
Fan
Switch
of
doesn't have
misfits
it.
over
No.
here.
Feel free to wave with ZL if you want.
No, no way.
And I will snap it here.
Yeah, I think the mic quality, it does what it
There we
does.
go.
It doesn't have to be too big. It doesn't have to be too good.
Cool.
It does what it
this
does.
was a
It
quick
serves the
preview
purpose. It gets the
of
job
a little
done.
bit of game chat and how game chat works with Nintendo Switch 2.
I was gonna say this guy is sounding really good, and the other people were sounding really bad, but he's mic'd up here. I was gonna say, like, this guy, actually the microphone might be good because this guy is sounding really good, and then I'm like, oh no, he's actually mic'd up. Probably just gonna use Discord. Yeah, especially if it affects like your connection, right? Especially if it affects like your internet connection. Imagine having, dude, for crying out loud, imagine having 24 players. Nintendo cannot handle 12 players online properly without you throwing a shell and the guy getting hit but never stopping.
And Mario Kart World. We're going to kick it back to the live stream. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. That was again, a little bit of a preview of what game chat looks like when playing Nintendo Switch 2 games. That, of course, couch co-op experience that can be brought to life in an online chat session. That said, we're going to sign off here from the Mario Kart World segment. And up next, we've got Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster.
Bravely Default. Did you watch any other Three House stuff? Yeah, I watched. I was like in and out with it. Like when they did Bravely Default, I only watched for a little bit. I mostly watched for the Mario Kart stuff and the GameCube stuff. Is when I mostly watched. Like I didn't tune in to much of the rest. Also Donkey Kong as well. Yeah, Bravely Default, which is going for $40, which if I could, I would poop a duck. But very, very, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of it. Okay, we can watch the Donkey. Have you watched the Donkey Kong stuff? Yeah, the Kirby stuff. I don't care too much. I mean, I did watch Zelda stuff as well. I keep forgetting that. The Donkey Kong stuff is pretty good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live.
Because you know, you guys have seen how I play Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I want you guys to see just how much
I gotta go now, but it
variety
sounds
there is
good,
in
man. Sounds good.
Layer. And I'm just gonna wander a bit. DK, you definitely know your way around this layer way better than anyone.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to just guide me in my destruction,
Sure. Well, if you want to open up the map screen by hitting the minus button,
sure.
We can look at a few
Wow.
landmarks here.
Okay.
If you want to head off to the right,
This map
section
is
of the map,
fantastic.
and you turn a little bit, you see that little.
You
hidden
never
outlet
heard of
down
these
there?
guys?
This one
Really?
here?
Yeah, that one there. There's
Okay.
actually a hidden void stake right there.
Oh, I
You can
see
make
it.
that on the
I don't
right.
know. I
So
don't know
there's
who they are either.
sometimes more than one void stake in any given layer.
Might
Which
be-
means there's an alternate way.
Do you mean
to
the
progress
people?
further
They
down.
might be
Gotta kind of head
Nintendo-
along the edge here.
Nintendo
Yeah,
employees.
So, I mean,
I'm
you could head
not
over
sure.
the edge, through the edge.
Through the edge. Let's
I
see
like
what
where this
happens.
is going.
Yeah.
This is like Wreck-It Ralph Donkey Kong, and this is looking really good. This is the best looking game they have, I think, in my opinion. Even the leaf, look at this little detail here. You're gonna see a lot of this. I just noticed it. Even the leaf here looks like a monkey. You notice that? Right there? Notice this? Like the leaf looks like a monkey. You see the pattern of a monkey there? Optimus Prime.
I'm just
This
punching
is
downward
this
here.
is
to
really
select
cool.
line.
Down.
Actually, she's like tapping, but you can actually jump and do a dive that like digs way faster. I don't know if they're gonna
Let
show
Going
it.
down.
Muscles be your guide.
I think this is the room that we found yesterday. Let's
Careful,
go.
DK. Careful, DK.
Oh. Okay, here's
Every time he falls, he leaves a crater behind. This is very expressive and very well made.
Yeah,
barrel
so that'll take you
cannon.
back up.
and there's a oh no, I don't want to do that. I know you're excited about getting in a barrel cannon. Let's see if we can find the
I think we'd all be excited.
banana.
I
Okay.
appreciate you grabbing everything.
Banana.
I mean, that's how
He's
you
like
play the game,
banana.
right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so let's see. This one
Banana.
comes out this way.
This is really
Yeah, like I
wow.
said, there's
That
all sorts of
okay.
fun-
That was rough. I did not notice
Comes
that.
out this way.
That's rough how the lighting works here. It's a little bit like Remake and Rebirth. Remake and Rebirth had a little bit of a lighting problem, and game developers they always have trouble with lighting.
Yeah, Corey.
Not all, but
Okay, so let's see. This
it's
one-
common. See this? I think it's because the camera picked up on the corner of the cave, and it wanted to X-ray vision through the cave, because that's what this game does.
comes out
And I think it's picking up that cave corner with the camera.
this way.
Yeah, it was picking up this corner, and that's why it darkened
Okay.
like that. But I don't know the explanation for it
Ooh.
here. Oh, it's perhaps because it hit this wall here this time. The wall on this side now.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I said, there's all sorts
That
of
makes sense. Okay, so it's not a lighting. It's not really a lighting glitch. It's how the camera interacts with.
fun stuff hiding all over these layers that you wouldn't necessarily know it's there, is not necessarily telegraphed to you in advance. So it's really on you to explore, punch your way through
I
things.
think we somehow
find
ended
little
up on the opposite side of the island that I wanted to be.
surprises. We did, but you know, it's not.
Oh, there's a
race.
fossil.
Well, let's just go through here.
The punching is
Dang.
part of the journey.
This is nuts,
It
dude.
really
Right.
is. I'm just gonna create my own path here.
Love it. Love it.
Would
This
love
is
to-
this
you know
is
what?
You can
nuts.
definitely brute force your way
I'm
through.
gonna.
but yeah,
I'm just gonna grab some
There we
terrain here
go.
to
Much
kind
faster.
chunks are.
of help. Oh, there we go.
She's like,
Yeah, they're
oh,
definitely your fastest way forward.
didn't have to grunt. Oh,
okay.
oh,
You
oh.
found the
Close
edge
one.
of the island.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
Let's
no.
just grab on here and we'll climb.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Good reflexes.
It's a
DK.
lot of fun.
All right.
And
now, what is this?
Really
sand?
good thing
Come
about
on,
this is that
sand.
they have collectibles when you
Recreate
bust the
art.
walls.
Okay.
It's
Let's
satisfying
see.
to get
Let's
all
do
the
some
collectibles.
terrain
Sturdy.
landscaping here. Whee!
This
Did
is
I have
Twilight
the,
Princess, right?
Oh no, you're still on your way. You're still on your way.
Okay.
yeah, I
all
think
right.
it's over there to the right, correct?
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
Why is
If
the
it's
thing
over there,
spinning?
I'm
I
gonna
don't know,
grab
but I don't
some
care. It's
some
cool.
Rock down there. I'm gonna grab some
Yeah.
of that. Help me kind of clear a path.
This is explosive stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, can't resist boom rock.
Not
Can
at
I
all.
climb with it? Yep. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
He
DK's
just
got
uses
very
his
strong
legs.
calves, very strong toes.
Doesn't skip leg day.
Very interesting thing here you might notice here. I'll perhaps you already know, but I'll just draw
Got
attention
very
to it.
strong calves,
Look, he's gonna FPS it, right?
very strong toes.
Well, this is more third person, but he's gonna crosshair it. And if you look, when he's on the grass, it says grass soft. When he hits the wall, look, stone. See that? Did you catch that? And there's like mud, and there's like steel or whatever other things. Like once you put your cursor on it, when you go into that shooter mode, it always tells you what type of object or asset you're looking at. Like here with the grass, which is soft, and it tells you the density of it, the hardness of it, if it's hard or not. Let me see if I can
okay,
catch that.
here
That
we
was
go.
pretty quick.
Yeah, DK's got very strong calves, very strong toes.
We'll catch it here. Sturdy, right? So grass soft, stone sturdy. I mean, we don't need to be physicists here, but
Doesn't skip leg day.
There we go.
You have made
these
the
little
door.
I've made a
little
doorway.
nuggets
Oh, and
you
if
get
you'll,
is amazing.
If you'll punch that shifty stone, you might have an extra
Yeah,
challenge
let's
to do.
see. I'm gonna really make a fool of myself here. Oh no.
Get over there.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
It's a little mini
So you're
game.
gonna make quick work of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Very
Yes,
good.
Yes, thank you.
She did
thank
well.
you.
She did well.
Beautiful.
You get a banana.
All right.
Yeah,
I
all
don't think you
right.
showed that one before. So that's
Very
No, that was a
expressive,
fun one.
man.
Yeah.
Extremely
Really
expressive.
Really easy. Okay, so this is
This
where
is
we're
the
going over
best-
here. Oh,
the
look
best
at
game
this.
they
Something
announced.
to punch.
For me.
What isn't there to
I'm gonna
punch?
get some airtime. All right.
Yeah, very
Is
good.
this? Am I on a monkey head?
Yeah,
Odds
perhaps.
are very good.
I mean, I kind of
I'd say so
blew a
too.
hole through it, so we won't
Hello,
get into
Super
that.
Jake.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's art.
Watch this.
All right. Got it. Yeah.
Oh.
Here we
Ooh.
Down
are.
already. Nicely done, Kay.
Great. Oh,
So-
and there's a monkey over there. Hi.
Now, since
Thanks.
we've been through this layer one time
Wow.
before, I think it might actually be
Metroid
fun to
is
hop
all
down here
right.
and see what's
I
waiting.
am happy
Sure.
about the.
Let me just get this treasure chest real
There's
quick.
like random chests
'Cause if you're
everywhere.
anything like
That's
me, You're
crazy.
gonna get distracted by all the shiny.
Oh, this game's very good for that. There's so many shinies.
This is very creative.
Okay.
Pretty much
I think-
everywhere you
I think they
perform,
were
you'll
very
naturally
creative with
encounter
this.
vanadium gold, chunks of it, little pebbles of it.
So are we
They
gonna,
just go
we
down
gonna
the
take
hall. Yeah.
plunge?
Yes,
yeah, go ahead
yes,
and
yes,
dive
yes.
punch down there if you want to. There you go.
Whee! Oh.
Now we're not going to let you see everything down here. We will give you a brief little glimpse of Sublayer 101, which is one floor down.
Oh boy, lots of stuff to do down there.
By the way, in that level, you're already underwater. If you look up at the sky, she didn't do that, but they did it in a different video. If you look up at the sky right there, you would have been able to see that there is like the ocean is up there. It's like a layer of water. It's like they're underneath the ocean. Yeah, it doesn't work very well in terms of physics, but that's what it is.
We'll take you back
It's a video game. It's not made not supposed
to the start of the layer.
Steve, do you want to play?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Welcome back to AFK.
Yeah, that's not actually the sky. That's like
marks,
the ocean.
Where you've returned, just in case you want a little identifier.
I'm just gonna go ahead and destroy everything. So I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even care.
You're getting the D play style.
Bro.
Oh, treasure. I'll take it.
We're all gonna do this. Don't even lie to me. Don't look at me like that. You know you're gonna do this. You bet your tushy. The first thing you're gonna do is whack away.
Does the D stand for destruction? I've been calling you Dimitri.
I've been upgrading.
Could be
myself.
multi-purpose.
You know you're gonna do it.
Punch my way through everything.
Don't forget the hand slaps to collect all the collectibles around.
I want to go
And
back
maybe
and just destroy
there
it
could be something hidden, so.
Oh, there's something
the
there,
sonar
yeah.
of the hand slap is good for that.
DK's carving himself out.
There you go.
God dang, man.
Nice little
Yeah.
area.
That's
here. You
whack.
took out a Buzzoid too. Didn't
When
you?
he grabs that stone and
Bye,
just
Buzzoid.
It was all by
goes to
design.
town, dude. And this looks like a very big map, dude. It's a fairly big map.
I'm not gonna even go.
Definitely one way to.
And it's a subsection, right? Didn't they call it like subsection?
Oh, I have just begun.
Oh no, he's found the boom rock. Oh, you found a hidden
Oh
area.
shoot.
Oh, look at
Another
that.
hidden area
Oh,
with
whoa.
more goodies.
Oh,
bet
more
there's
boom rock. That's what I
something
found.
good down
Okay.
here.
Yeah, why don't you aim for some of those geysers and see what pops out?
Let's see. Oops. No, I'm gonna just.
Oh, you can ride it? Oh.
Dangerous.
That's actually a great way to demonstrate that you can surf on pretty much any kind of terrain, but they will
Holy.
interact with the surrounding environment in different
What
ways.
would be
So
your
you
dream
surfing on that
announcement
boom
for the
rock and
Switch
hitting the
2?
wall actually causes
Make
you
good
to
choices, everyone.
Alright.
Specifically D. Good choice, D.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Oh, look at all of this.
He's made a good choice.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna just pick it up by blowing it up. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh.
Oh, there was a concrete.
FF9
wall
remake.
there.
See it.
That's one way to do it.
Out of existing games. If it's a new reveal, I go for Final Fantasy 9. That'd probably be remake. Not the old one. If there is a remake. I'm hoping. I would say out of existing games. Shoot. Rebirth, perhaps. No. Listen, Carl, the reason I've gotten Switch games rather than the PS5 is because of the portability. Right? I want Pokemon Rumble. Dang, Lynx! Hot take. Welcome in. It's the portability, dude. That's why I got Final Fantasy 12 for the Switch. That's why I got Final Fantasy 10 for the Switch. That's why I got a bunch of Final Fantasies on the Switch, because I don't have to sit at my desk to play it. I can be in bed playing it. And that small little caveat does compensate for the lower graphical FPS capability.
I'm not done yet.
It just
Yeah,
does.
what haven't you done? Oh, the treasure chest. Get that treasure chest.
There we go.
You want Galaxy 3?
Alright,
Ooh,
let's
Galaxy
see.
3 is
fight
a
this crocodile
wow,
if you want to.
smart.
Yeah, I like the
I didn't
idea.
think of
Let's
that.
do it.
I would like Galaxy 3, but
Boom rock.
I would not prefer it over
Alright.
Final
There we
Fantasy
go.
9.
There you go.
Excellent work.
I would absolutely lose my mind for Galaxy 3 though.
Yeah, got the key from that guy. Let's leave that key be for now. Let's keep exploring a little bit. Ooh,
I don't know.
some boom rock.
There's more games I'd love to see.
Can I tell you the rumble?
I'd like to see Gen 10. Pokemon Gen 10 would be very cool to see.
This game's sounds incredible. Headphones are going to be very important for playing.
Man, you got me thinking here.
It's okay. There's an apple that popped out of the ground.
Apple, yeah, there it is.
I'll take it.
Right. An apple a day keeps the buzzard away.
Nope.
You know what I'd like to see?
Get a D.
I'd like to see Scarlet and Violet be
Oh, I see. There's something over
get a
here.
Nintendo Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet get a Nintendo Switch
Everything at first.
version
You can't
with
do that
better
concrete,
graphics.
by hand, you're gonna have to
Just
resort
like
to sturdier methods.
straight up better graphics, not just better resolution. I want like better shaders, optimized game,
Which is over here.
optimized game,
It was
better
very handy
looking,
to have that so conveniently nearby.
120
Getting too
4K.
excited.
I know.
That's what I want to see. Redeem the freak out of that game.
Now, not gently.
DK, not gently.
That would be an absolute
What game
waste
are
of
you
time.
playing?
Yeah, ooh, you found a fossil.
That would be an absolute waste
do
of
it.
time for
Alright,
Nintendo,
more
but
way through. Yeah.
it would be nice, right, Benito?
Oh, I'm seeing something over here.
So
I
all this
have
destruction,
issues with this
and you have yet
console
to
though.
find a
I
banana.
love this
I know.
console. I'm sold on the Switch.
What are you doing?
I'm
Remember,
sold.
punch with purpose.
I really I'm sold on the Switch
And
too.
your purpose is potassium.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying
I
to find
am
a
very
here. Yeah.
skeptical
Now, so with
of this
sculpture, what is your
120
artistic
FPS 4K stuff. I see the 4K, I see the better resolution,
Yeah, you're expressing yourself
but
very
it's
clearly.
the games that
artistic
support the
restructuring.
120 and
Yeah, I'll pick it
4K.
up
I
on
don't
a
think they've announced a
very
single one
Boop-boids. You
that
wanna
supports
engage the
120 FPS and 4K at the same time.
All right. Over here?
Tears of the
Head in that
Kingdom doesn't do it.
direction, see
60 FPS.
Okay.
Hello.
there
That
we
we,
Get him.
I think it is. I don't think it's
Those
been
things pop
revealed,
really
but
satisfactorily. It's
no 4K, 60
go. Especially if you
FPS.
grab a chunk and just whack them
Yes.
with it. There you go.
And
If
you
twirl that
can
stick
see the
around, that thing
difference.
can be
I think they
spinning
do
exactly where
show.
it's shown.
Yeah, there you
Oh, wait,
go.
oh, there you go.
I
like
think
that a
they
lot.
do show a comparison here. Let me see if I can spot it for you. I think they do show a comparison. I do think that they should. Treehouse here.
1-to-1 because the items aren't exactly the same. But
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So here is, we're gonna crank this up to the utmost.
Hello and
It's
welcome
already.
back.
Okay, there.
Hello and welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live. I'm Kendra and I'm up here with Dutch and Kay, and we are just about to get into the Legend
connection
of
is
Zelda
bad?
Breath of the
Aw,
Wild
shoot.
Nintendo
Sorry
Switch
about that.
2 edition.
Okay, let's check this
Also,
out.
we're going to check out the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And we're going to check out Zelda Notes. So we're going to be doing a lot.
Got a lot to cover.
But we're going to start out with some footage of Breath of the Wild. So we will get right into that. We're going to have some side-by-side footage of the original Breath of the Wild.
Here we go. Right off the bat. Okay, this is a YouTube video, so like the YouTube. It is in 4K. What's the resolution? 2160. It's more like 2K, but sure. Sure. Looking here on the Switch 2 here on the side, you can see the blurriness up here. Look at right here, up here, you can see blurriness. Right here, you see how much more defined it is. On here where the fog is, you don't notice a lot of difference. Quite a bit of fog here, I don't notice. I do spot some difference in these hieroglyphs here. Whatever those are. There is a little bit more clarity on here, of course. The biggest difference, however, is where there's no fog of war. There's this fog here, right? But where there's no fog, you can see a very, very clear difference. look at the how washed out this here, and look at the pattern on top. The difference on how much more clearer the pattern is here. It's a big. Another thing that you'll notice that is very interesting, I can look right here. Right here. You see like this kind of like mound of like cement almost here on the side of this hieroglyph here. Okay, spot that. Look at the difference right there. Look at the texture difference right there. It's night and day right there. That one specifically is night and day. You can also see you can see that right back here. At a distance, you'll spot a lot of. At a distance is where you're gonna spot most of the differences. That's where that resolution, that better resolution is really gonna shine. You'll see back here. You see how muddy it is on this little system here, or that little constellation there, and then you have this constellation. Look at how much more defined that is, right?
The right, and then the
another difference you'll notice is how, I don't know if they made any changes to the engine or something in the game. I mean, they have to have made some optimization, I'm sure. But you can see that this shadow here is way more linear than this one. And the anti-aliasing way more. That's proper English, way more better. We have Link right off the bat here. You can see the clarity in the belt right away. Right away, you can see the clarity in the belt. It's very prominent. It's much better. If I notice any glaring differences. It's in here. You see that there's this white outline right here. Nintendo likes to do that. You'll see this in Pokemon games as well, especially Legends Arceus. You'll see this almost like this linear contour of white. It gives the impression of light being shot from. They use this in a lot of games. You'll see, again, you go watch Legends ZA and you'll see exactly this. Very Nintendo thing to do, game freaky thing. One big difference that you can notice here, very noticeable here, is look at this little slit on his little cut on his shirt here, right? Look at how much more those shadows pop out. Look at how much more defined it is. Look at how muddy that is compared to here, right? It's very noticeable. Very noticeable.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition here.
Watch. I want you guys to focus on his right here. On his sleeve, the end of his sleeve where I was just pointing to. And look at the shadows under the sleeve when he moves his arms. But focus on the Switch side, which is the Switch one, which is on the right.
On the right, and then the new.
Notice the shadows right here on this sleeve right here. Notice the shadows underneath.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
You catch that? Did you catch that? Watch. I'm gonna frame it. Look. Look at the inconsistency of those shadows. That. It's very like all over the placey. And you can see that now focus on the other side. It looks much better. Yeah, it's choppy. So what that is, exactly, it's way more choppy, and the shadows are kind of like all over the place. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that is a rendering problem. Like in terms of, I'm not sure that has to do. Like I'd have to study this better. I'm not sure that has to do with the resolution or the engine or the shader itself. Like perhaps Switch 2 can render that shade a little better. I think that's what it's just outright better, and it can make it better. but I don't know exactly
on
if
the right, and then the new.
the resolution definitely helps. Very interesting that you notice a graphical error here. Or is that my TV?
Nintendo.
No, that's my TV. Never mind. Yeah, that's a spot in my TV. What 2026 movies you're hyped for? I'm not really a big movie guy, but that's a good question. I'm excited for that unicorn movie. There's a unicorn movie with the girl, the Wednesday girl, Jenna Ortega. That movie has been getting me interested to watch it. Yeah, and you can see now. Focus on this side. You can see the shadows
Nintendo
are
Switch 2
way.
edition here on the left.
There's so much more. You'll see a little flickering right there. Death of a unicorn. Is that what it is? I love Legends. Yeah, I've been seeing trailers for that, and I've kind of been interested. Oh shoot, that sounds kind of interesting. The premise.
Left.
And right away, you can already tell how.
Let's see. Really the muddiness of the floor. Look at the floor. The colors here are way more vibrant, right? This has to do with monitor, right? This is what happens. Now the vibrancy of the color, it is not really about the resolution. This is more about what kind of backlight you have, what kind of screen you have, right? This is the display, right? So the display of the Switch, I think it is. I could, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. See how much more this is washed out. So I'm not sure if they actually changed the game's colors to look more vibrant, or if it's the Switch is this like just the rendering of it is just better for sure. But
much clearer the resolution is.
It's
in the Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Yes.
The detail on the
very
floor, like you
apparent.
can see all the little.
I think this might be optimization. I think this might be optimization. I don't know. Because this is not recorded. This is recorded in game, right? Done with a capture card, so it wouldn't be that this. Interesting. They definitely optimized the game for sure. Paul Rudd is in it. Yeah, Paul Rudd as well. Yeah, you've been seeing that same trailer, huh, Benito? Are you excited for that movie?
Lines in the design there.
It looks so good, and we're starting out
Yeah, these rocks look way better.
at the very beginning of the game.
My curiosity is if this was the shader that they had to begin with, or if this is just the Switch to actually being able to render this as opposed to the other Switch that could. I don't know if this is like, I want to know. I'm curious. This is why I'm asking this. I'm curious what changes they made to the game, if any. Right? I would bet that they did. You might go see it. Nice. I would bet that they actually did it because an upscaled resolution or better resolution, better FPS would not affect the coloring of this. Okay. I don't think it would affect the coloring of this. I could be wrong. I am not informed enough to say for sure 100%. But I don't think better resolution would have like changed the color from like a green to like a muddy yellow, right? I don't notice much of a difference on Link other than the belt. The belt is going to pop out a lot more, and I think that's noticed. I think they might have just changed the colors of it because here you can see that Link is way more darker.
Game. Anyone who's played this before.
There's a different hue here to Link. I feel like this one is darker. Look at the pants. These are way brighter. It's almost like a bloom, right? There's almost like a backlight to like a lack of saturation. This is way more saturated.
Before, well,
but this could be the specific frame, but it isn't. You can see the difference from a display of 720 to 1080p, 4K here. Actually, this is playing in 4K. Wow.
obviously recognize this scene.
Look, this is stark. This is a stark difference. This is a very... This is a stark difference here. Guys, I don't even need to commentate on it. Look at those field. Look at that grass. Just look at the grass. I don't even need to comment on this. The visuals do the job for me. I don't need to comment on this. Whack. Wow. Big difference. Right here, you can notice, look at the definition of this grass. It is impressive. Look at the look at how blurry this is right here. You can see the blur. Look at the blurry of the volcano. Look at how blurry it is, and look at how defined it is here. That's not a big difference, but you're gonna notice, I bet you can see some still some issues here, but this is outdated. This was not done to meet the 4K standard, so, or the Switch 2 standard. So this was optimized for a weaker system. So you'll see a little bit of this, and you'll see it here upcoming.
Iconic.
It is.
And look at the difference of the frame rate. I'm gonna let him run a little bit more so you can really get a feel for the
design there.
It looks so good. And we're starting out at
For the
very
frame
beginning
rate.
of the game. Anyone who's played this before will obviously recognize this scene.
Iconic.
It is.
Night and day,
kind of
dude.
Emotional. We're coming up to
Night and day, dude.
the edge here, and we're going to look out over the horizon.
It's a very iconic moment.
This is where you spot the differences. The castle. That higher resolution is really going to pop these little things. It's really going to make everything look less muddier. Specifically here. Yeah, at a distance, you'll see that everything that is muddy becomes non-muddy. Look at the texture. Oh, you can't see it. That's a shame. But the texture of the rock down here is really...
In Breath of the Wild. And already you can see the textures and how much crisper
the detail,
and
like
cleaner
the trees
it
in the
looks.
horizon, you can see like there's more detail.
Yeah,
you
and
can
even in the
see so
forest close up.
far.
I mean, even looking at the definition on the cliff where
Yeah,
Link is
it's-
standing.
It's an improvement for sure.
breathtaking.
It looks very good.
Of the wild.
Good one.
And you can see like kind of like the movement jittery here. This is what I'm going to explain to you guys, or try to at least. I've been talking about VRR, right? The variable refresh rate.
And the lighting as well.
Look at the church. Both the churches, the cathedrals, whatever it's called,
Breathtaking.
temples. And as the camera pans, look at both of them and see if you spot a difference.
Of the wild.
Good one.
Excuse me. So what you'll notice on the right with the Switch 1 is that there's almost like a blocky movement to it, right? You almost see it. It's almost like flickering, right? Watch it again, real close.
In the
Look
horizon.
at the definition
It's almost like it's flickering as it moves.
of the wild.
Good one.
You see that? You see the flickering here in the front when it moves? I don't think the frame by frame will capture it. But look right here. I'm going frame by frame here. You can see a lot of moving parts here, right? Especially when the camera is moving. See a lot of moving parts here. Not as much here. Now the better resolution does this, but a lot of this is that variable refresh rate. That means is that refresh rate refers to refresh. So the screen, what you see in the screen, it's always going by. It's almost like an image. An image needs to be redrawn a million times, like the old CRTs kind of worked. This is like a simplified way of explaining it. You're drawing an image over and over and over and over and over again. You want in between as many in-betweens as you can so that it looks smoother. You have like a flip book and you draw and you flip through the pages and it looks like there's a motion like a cartoon, right? So the more frames, the more pages you draw in between, the more motion you get. And that's what the variable refresh rate does, is that refresh rate is going to be way faster the higher the hertz it has, right? And the hertz refer to the refresh rate per second. If it's doing 120 hertz, 120 hertz, that's 120 refreshes per second.
You see it.
And here you can see even the little each individual raindrop.
You can see the really big, really big difference. Look at that pillar, dude. Night and day. Yo, Pepsi. How are you, Pepsi? Sorry, I'm eating over here, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the
Its own
texture of
puddle
the rain.
here. It's really
And
crisp.
Link's adorable rosy cheeks.
Uh-huh.
As it's chilly up there.
And in a moment, we're going to go ahead and warp into the Korok Forest.
And this is something, yes, this is something that people really appreciate, especially if you're coming back to the
Yeah, it's a big difference.
game for a second time. The load times are quite a bit faster on the
Look at
Nintendo
that.
Switch
Yeah,
2
look at-
edition.
here's a
So-
quick
Immediately.
comparison.
Here's the load
side by
time.
side in real time.
I bet you it's going to be about 4 seconds faster. We're going to count. About 4 seconds.
It's a race.
It's not
Who will
much.
win?
It's not
One.
close.
Yeah.
2,
It's no competition.
Which
3,
Link will win?
Yeah.
4,
So more time slaying
5,
monsters and less time
6,
watching the loading screen, which is great.
7.
It's just great.
Yeah.
About 7 seconds
Wow.
faster.
Yeah, that is a substantial difference.
It really is.
And we've warped here into the woods, and this is a section of the game that has a lot going on.
It's very smart of them to do this part, because this is where the game struggled a lot, right? We all know this. We've all played this game. This is where the game struggled. And you'll see the Switch 2 eats it up.
Like lots of things to animate, lots of Koroks popping in and out, the mist and the flies dancing in the sunbeams and everything. And the Nintendo Switch 2.
How dare you eat in game? Unprofessional. I'm doing good, Pepsi. How are you, man? It's good to see you. That's insane for speedrun. It's really good for speedruns, because I actually did a few. I don't speedrun Tears of the Kingdom, but I do know some speedrun techniques, so we've done it live as well. The speed by which you open the menu is way faster as well. Okay. I think they mentioned this here.
Handles it amazingly. It's super smooth.
Yeah. Night and day,
Look
dude.
at the difference in the lighting,
Wow.
the
And
textures,
the improved
grass.
frame rate is extremely.
Night
you're
and
not gonna
day,
grab
dude.
it? Okay. Maybe later.
Just going for a walk in the woods.
Okay, just splashing around, looking for some Korok friends.
It looks so smooth.
It really does.
Yeah, but this is 60
and
FPS.
will
I don't
say
think
the
this
first
is
time I
120.
played
This
Breath
is
of the Wild,
60.
One of the first things I did actually was to run up to the top of a nearby mountain and just watch the sunset. And I cannot wait to do that in the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, just to see how pretty it is and how colorful. It's so nice.
Isn't like the light and like the details on the individual blades of grass there as he goes
little
through?
moats in the air.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see those. Yeah.
I want to know the poor guy at Nintendo that had to like have two Switches next to the Switch 2 and the Switch 1, and they had to do the same path. That must have been kind of hard to do the same path. It's very good, Egg. It's a very good change. I think they did good. They did very well with this.
It's really, really
Oh,
gorgeous.
I never noticed that before. That's
Well, and the other thing that we haven't seen in this side-by-side comparison, but even opening the menus and switching between the different tabs of the menu.
Oh yeah, she's mentioning. So yeah, for speedrunners, this is going to be a dream come true. Also, people have been mentioning about the price of the game being $70, right? But there's also something interesting about that, which is the people who already bought the games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. You can actually upgrade it for free if you have the NSO, but you will not be able to upgrade it for free have to pay like, I think if we go by the Japanese website, has the prices for the conversion for when you update. Let's say you do not have the NSO. So if you want to, but you have Breath of the Wild, let's say you want to upgrade, you have to pay the equivalent of $10 in Japan. This is Japanese prices. Of course, for the US, it might be different. It's about, I don't know how many, 800 yen or something like that. I forget. But if you do have an NSO, and I think it's the biggest NSO, it's not the smaller one. It's like the one that has the Animal Crossing Get Married thing and the one that has all the games and all. It's the higher version, the $50 one. I don't think the $20 one. I'd have to brush up on that. I did read about this earlier, but I forget the specifics.
News is a lot smoother and quicker in the Nintendo Switch 2 edition when you compare it to the old version.
Yeah, it's $10 for the performance upgrade, and like stuff like Kirby will be $20 because it actually has DLC. Kirby and Jamboree are two
versions. So.
Yeah, and we'll have a chance to check that out in just a little
Dude, the Master Sword gotta glow.
bit when we get into Tears of the Kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the difference here is just amazing.
Quick panorama. Yeah.
And I mean, you know, he's hanging out in the forest because that's why wouldn't you? Like, why
wouldn't
want to
you?
just be hanging out in a peaceful forest where everything is lovely and there's little Koroks.
Listening to that music. Gorgeous.
Very nice.
All right.
All right, so we're going to switch now into Tears of the Kingdom, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I'm standing here on the Great Sky Island, and you can just see the beautiful...
No comparison on this one, but I would say it's safe to say that it's pretty much going to be pretty much like Breath of the Wild, right? I think it's safe to say.
Temple of
There's
Time
no comparison
in the
there.
distance. But we're not going to stay here.
Let's
I'm going to
skip ahead a little.
To cover.
And if you missed that in the direct, Zelda Notes is a service that's part
I
of
want
the
to show you
Nintendo
guys
Switch
something
app,
interesting
and
here.
it's designed to be used with both the both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the Nintendo Switch
Both of
2
them.
edition.
Yep.
Okay, there's something very interesting. They can actually trade items with the phone app. I didn't know that was possible. They do this here. So with the phone app, they're gonna trade
Up
items.
down there. So this is basically like your own personal. If you're like me,
Okay, here we
Dutch
go.
has really prepared some weapons.
So here on the side, you can see Kay, Zelda, and Dutch. So you can interchange items through the app. What are you doing? Oh, we're just going over a little bit of the treehouse stuff where we play a little bit of Mario Kart. Yeah, it's very similar to Breath of the Wild. Perhaps it has optimizations. Perhaps. But yeah. I forget what they showed here. Oh, they're
We've
gonna
got
fight a
friend over
Glia?
here.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah,
Hello.
So I'm just gonna climb up here and I'm gonna take a quick selfie because who doesn't want to take a quick selfie with a Gliok
And a milk mop.
and a milk mop? Here we go. This is a great opportunity to show the photo studio.
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so
of
let's
Zelda
go.
Notes. So let me first.
Oh, you can go in a photo
open
studio
my
as well?
album here. And you can see the selfie I just took. Look at him with his
Beautiful.
little
So
rosy cheeks.
cute.
He's so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and use selection mode to send this to Zelda Notes. And then it should pop up in Photo Studio within the Zelda Notes.
Yeah, so
Wow.
let's take a look back at the app. We see the photo studio in the lower left. So we tap on that, and we can see our picture right here.
There it
There
is.
it
And from
is.
here, we can edit it.
wow.
We can change like the shape of the picture, the borders, maybe
Crop
crop
it
it. Should we do one to one here?
Why not?
Little square.
Beautiful.
We can also add some little
Logos.
logos. Let's do a Zelda in the lower left. Maybe an icon. Let's do one of these up here.
Not a lot of options
and then we
there,
can
but I
also
mean,
add
it's a
QR
cool little
codes either
feature.
for your item box.
I couldn't care less for this. I mean, sure, it would, if you're interested in getting the Koroks, if you're interested in really 100%, you're playing the game for the first, it's a nice feature to have. If you've already beaten the game, I suspect that not a lot of people are going to care, right? I suspect. Is the map going to make this, is the map going to make this, for upgrading this game, because it has no DLC and it just has like better frame rate and better resolution. I think, we don't know for sure, but we're basing ourselves off of Japanese prices. It would be about $10 in the US if it translates right. Again, tariffs and Nintendo might change this, so we just don't know. Like, they've been very secretive about their prices. They're not communicating with their fan base. It's the worst thing they can do. It's the worst thing they can do is to have people with confusion saying that the games are $90, games are $100, that the console's gonna cost $640. The worst thing that Nintendo can do is not communicate to their, and Nintendo has always done this. Not always, but they've gone incognito. They don't have a representative to tell the people. They don't have a spokesperson like they used to have Reggie, Kit and Krista, right? Now with the Nintendo Minute and all that, now they have no way. They have no way of speaking to their fans. Just don't communicate with their fans. Like, the fans are literally not knowing what the prices of the consoles are, and they're like, go to the website, go to the website, go to the website. And it's like, what, like, WTF, dude? Like, other websites are saying in Europe they have two different prices for the physical and the digital, and then we're like, everybody's just like a no-headed chickens running around in circles, not knowing what the fluff is going. They need to communicate with the fans. The longer they let this fester, the more people are going to freaking theorize. Conspiracy theories are going to come out, and the more it's going to fester. I don't understand why they just don't come out and say, this is the price, period. These are the prices, period. Now, because of the tariffs, now I can't understand why they're not saying the prices are that. Perhaps that's the reason they didn't say the prices in the first place. Perhaps. I can't say for sure. I don't think it is, but it could be. Like, the verses are hugely contradictory. Some say that physical will cost more. Yeah, but that's if you go off of European websites, French websites, Spanish websites. The US website says that Mario Kart will be $80, $79.99. Yes. And I think Nintendo came out. I was reading about this. I don't know how true this is. But, excuse me for a second. So Nintendo came out and they apparently they made a statement, according to the source I read, so allegedly, that it was the retailer's fault that that the prices are jacked up like that. I saw someone was talking about this. I didn't follow up on it and I didn't check it to be, but that would be a jacked up statement if they're saying that. They're blaming it, according to this guy, they were blaming it on the retail. I think it might have been a Nintendo spokesperson, like maybe like a low grunt Nintendo person rather than like an actual official envoy for Nintendo. That's my guess. I'd have to follow up on that. I guess at some point somebody said that it was the retailer's fault. Like, what? So they're blaming it on Best Buy and Walmart and Walmart. I was thinking of Walmart and Walmart. And come on, man. Hey, welcome back, Nevi. Yeah, it's gonna be $80 in the US. Granted, tariffs don't. Granted, the tariffs don't go banana.
Or to a particular schematic. So we can put the schematic right here for the monstrosity that you were piloting in the depths.
Hoping the Switch One has a price drop after two launches.
Creature.
And then
The 3DS.
From there, yeah, we're complete. And then we can save it as a new image. So then now you have this image on your phone with, for example, your QR code that you built from your...
You will see a Nintendo Switch price drop for used, right? Secondhand Switch. You'll see you'll see a price drop, and you'll see a lot of them being sold. A lot of people are gonna sell their Switch. I think you can. There's gonna be a lot of Switch market. So I would just buy one that's been pre-owned. But yeah, the price has to go down. It can't go up. Price can only go down for the OLED, however, I don't know about the OLED. I mean, it's not going to get more expensive. They've compared the LCD, because this is an LCD on the Switch, right? On the Switch and the Switch 2 are both LCD. And the Switch OLED is the only. And there was a video of a guy that he was comparison because he had like hands-on with Switch 2. And he was showing the OLED too. I thought the OLED looked much, but I seemed to think that the Switch better. My personal opinion is the OLED was looking. I mean, I think when it comes to OLED, you don't get truer blacks than OLED. OLED and plasmas, they do the best blacks, the best darks. Of course, when you have an LCD display and a backlight LED light, you're always going to have your blacks are always going to have some, but not with ionized pixels. You can't ionize light. You can't, when it turns off, and there's backlight. Whatever pixel has been turned off. So you're really looking at very true blacks, and you're looking at very much saturated, brighter, lively colors, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the OLED is a big victory for the Switch. Mini LED, yes. Mini LED can approximate with enough of them. If you have enough of them, you can approximate OLED. But I still think that OLED can do a little better. But that's a good point. Donnie's tariffs are going to rise the Switch 2 price. It's very likely, yes. It's made in Vietnam, and oh, it's Vietnam. I kept saying Singapore, and it's Vietnam. That's what it is. The Switch games, I think you're right. I think it is Vietnam and Cambodia. It's a 46% tariff. Yeah, I think it's 46% to be exact. That would mean that this, if Japan applies that tariff, the Switch would go up to $600 something. And I don't think people would be. I don't think I wouldn't be happy about that. Gamers with mutiny. gamers take to the streets to protest. Yes, it would be the import, but that prices a lot of people out. Yes, but that's if the company wants to take the price. That's if Best Buy wants to eat it up, they can't. If Walmart wants to eat it up, they. What that means is, if the retailers want to pay the difference for the tariff so they can sell the console at $450, they can do that. Like, for example, Best Buy could get the console at $627. They pay the 46% tariff and they sell it for $450. But of course, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they don't want to do that. You think Best Buy is going to do that for you? I don't think so. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. I don't think they'd do that. I don't think none of the importers are going to eat. None of the importers are going to want to eat the price. They don't want to eat the price. They're going to pass it on to the consumer, and that's what we're going to see. You know, this is going to be everything. Everything Nintendo, you know, Nintendo knows that they have a good market in the US. I'm not getting political or anything. I'm not going to share I have my personal opinions on the whole tariff thing, but I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm not here to discuss if it's right or wrong. It's definitely chaotic. I think everybody can agree that it's a mess. It's a mess. And, you know, if, you know, they know that they're going to sell the Nintendo Switch and they know that America buys that stuff up. They gobble that stuff up, man. You know, as Americans, they gobble that stuff up, man. No, I don't know that, but do you know Formula One? I know what Formula One is. I don't know what, is that a game you're referring? No, Canada is worse. Yeah, I was reading that the games are going to cost 132 Canadian. I think it was Mutahar that was talking about it. Don't quote me on that again. I watch these things and I forget a little bit of the details, so I'm sorry if I can't really offer up. It's up there. Canada's like 600 apparently. God damn, bro. Time to go to Canada to buy Switch. Well, if the conversion serves you, I would do it. Apparently, the region locked Japanese Switch 2 is 330. Oh yeah, there is a difference. There's two Switch 2. Might already be pricing some tariffs in the 450 price tag. It's possible, yeah. We're gonna have to wait for Nintendo to say something. I mean, it's cool to speculate, of course, because it kind of gets rid of a little bit of the press and the confusion around it. If you talk about it, it's almost like you're making sense out of it, even until like somebody pronounces them. My personal opinion, if you want my personal opinion, if we do see an increase on price, I think it's going to be about a 10%. I don't think they're going to go as far as 40%. And because this will hurt Nintendo too. This will hurt Nintendo as well. It's not just going to hurt, you know, if they sell their consoles with a 46%. That's going to hurt their sales. They don't want to do that. Like, so Nintendo is in a very difficult situation right now. They're in a very difficult. Your sound is dipping every free. Sorry about that, Meowie. Is that better? I hope that's better. Nintendo cannot be happy. Oh, hi, Allison. How are you? Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to. It's a difficult position for Nintendo. It really is. On the one hand, they do the tariff. They don't do the tariff. You know? It's a difficult position because people are already complaining about the prices. If you have to explain to a freaking Nintendo fanboy that is like getting money from his mom, and he has to explain to his mom why she should spend like $600 on a console, he's gonna be very upset that he has to pay $600 for a console. Yeah, it's better now. Sorry about that. I didn't know it was dipping. In Quebec, it's 630 plus tax, which is 15%. 15% of 630. I don't even know how to math that. 15% of 630 would be about $65. 50% of 630 is but that's not the, we're not going off of 630. I don't know why I did that math. That's funny. A 15% increase would be, I don't know how to math that. I'd have to go back to school for that one. 725 total. Yeah, I said 60, so I was kind of close. I was close-ish. Is about 80, 90, something like that. That's crazy. That's, nobody can do that, man. Who the fudge can, come on, man. Who the heck, dude? I bought my PlayStation 5, and I'm saying this, I'm sitting here like a hypocrite, really, but I bought my PlayStation 5 for $6. And that was a GameStop deal that I got. It came with the God of War, a digital code for God of War. Yo, Exit, welcome in. Love you, Exit. How are you? I bought it for about I think it was $650. That's price. With taxes, it went up to, I don't know, $660. But it's a PS5, dude. We're looking at this was about a year and a half ago. We're looking at a very, very powerful piece of hardware. We're looking at a very powerful piece of hardware. And I do think that the Switch can be comparable. Of course, Allison, I don't blame you. Happy birthday to my friend X. That's right. Oh my gosh. What was I saying? If the advantage of the Switch 2 is that it's a handheld, and the fact that it was a handheld made me buy all my Final Fantasy games I bought on the Switch just because of the portability of it, just because of the handheldness, just so I don't have to sit at my desk when I want to play Final Fantasy and I can do it before I go to bed. And if I did it, people will do it. People will buy a console if it helps them be more lazy, quote unquote lazy. I don't like the word lazy because I feel like that's laziness is a coping mechanism. And I feel like it's demeaning to people. So I don't really like that word. I don't like that adjective very much, but just as an example, it's just to get the joke across. You're trying to collab with Frosty would be cool. Yeah, absolutely. We have to do it, Exit. Yeah, I'm keen. I definitely would love to collab with you. I collabed only once with Zed, since Allison is here. I collabed only once with Zed, and I tried to get that mother fluffer to collab with me for months. For months. If the Switch 2 generation is as long as the Switch 1 and the price, that's a decade. Yeah, the Switch 2 is gonna, because the hardware is gonna be here for the next decade. 4K is gonna be irrelevant in 10 years. I believe. Relevant. What is his deal? I don't know. I never got it. he kept on saying that he wanted to do it. But and then he just never did it. But he kept on saying that he wanted to. And I DM'd him like a few times, like, Zed, when are we doing this collab? We gotta do it, Frostman. We gotta do it, Frostman. And we just like never got around until we finally did it one time. I was happy. Happy birthday, Exit. I hope you had the best day, man. I know you've been going through it. It'll be worth anyways, and as the other guy said, a handheld. I've never plugged my Switch to the TV. There you go. I think the handheld mode is what really puts the Switch on the shelf there. Open it. It's just that it's a commodity, man. People like comfort. Well, if people have to, and this is proven by Amazon, this is proven by DoorDash, this is proven by Grubs, whatever. People are willing to pay $15 on their food so they don't have to get up and get it. You know, that's just what it is. People are willing to pay $20 on their groceries so somebody else brings it to their door. Yeah, granted, some people do it because they have a disability or whatever, but I'm not talking about those cases. I'm talking about cases of people that are healthy, capable, and able, and they don't want to do it because I don't want to leave the house. Comfort sells. It's been selling in America since its inception. Okay, comfort sells. That's why pillows are famous. Okay, that's why comfy chairs are famous. You know. And so what happens with the Switch is exactly there's an element of comfiness, not only emotionally but mentally, but also the ergonomics of it with you in bed and playing. That's a big selling point. And what I mean mentally is kind of like Nintendo is kind of like it's the Apple situation, right? So it's safe. It's a family company. I was gonna deliver. You know, it's like people have this perceived notion of value, and they see the Nintendo logo much like they do when they see the Apple logo, and that is another form of comfort, right? Nintendo has uniquely been adjacent, positioned themselves in a way that people think and view them as a company that is made for the family. Now, much of the decisions that Nintendo does are very anti-consumer. I remember did you know that with the GameCube and with the whole Sega and Sony thing going on with the CDs and all that, prices were all over the place. Did you know that the GameCube sold with a free copy of Double Dash? Think about that. The GameCube sold with a free copy of Double Dash to meet the standard at the time, which was the competition because of the PlayStation. How much was the DS? On release, I think it was about 200. Yeah. But you gotta understand, back in the 1990s, like Chrono Trigger, for example, cost $80 or $70, either 80 or 70. Not less or more than that. But the console itself, the Super Nintendo, guess how much the Super Nintendo cost back? About $120. Yeah, the Secret of Mana, $77, yeah. But the consoles were cheaper. The value was in the game. Now there was a kind of like, I think with the cartridge, I was gonna say that you were gonna say I should have waited a little bit more. I should have waited. I think the cartridge were expensive. The cartridges, I'm not sure. You probably educate me on that because I have not looked into the production prices. Not on the console and not on the cartridges. Nintendo insisted on the whole cartridge. That's why we don't have Final Fantasy VII on the floor. Because I remember that Square Enix wanted to actually go with Nintendo because they'd been doing Super Nintendo with Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy V, of course the original Final Fantasy with the NES. I use Final Fantasy as an example because it's my favorite series. The one I'm most well versed on. They're more expensive to produce. Everything is more expensive to produce, not. But you got to remember as well, there's a lot of automation today as well. There's a lot of automation, but there's a lot more demand, but with AI and automation, like workloads are just going to get lighter and lighter, especially with the gaming industry. It's just going to get lighter and lighter. But the problem and what is, converse to that is that you also have games being bigger and bigger and bigger. Just look at the comparison between Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom added 2 entire new worlds to Breath of the Wild. Look at Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth. When I played Remake, I was like, there's no way they can make a game bigger than this, expand this. Rebirth is 10 times the size of Remake. It's nuts how they keep improving this, right? So yes, there is a high demand to improve and expand the games, but also there is a great evolution in AI and also automation and techniques to really relieve people of the workloads and stuff. There's a reason people don't carry crates on their back like they did to build the pyramids. No, it wasn't aliens. Perhaps it was. Who knows? But perhaps it was. But it's because we got forklifts and freaking bobcats and stuff nowadays to carry those things for us, right? It's automation. That's development. And this is happening in real time right now. The 3DS came out in February 2011, and the price dropped about 6 months later by $80. We'll just have to wait and see if something similar. I think everyone here, you might disagree with me. I think everyone here can let go of the dream that Nintendo is gonna lower the price before launch. Especially if people have already pre-ordered. How are they gonna explain to the people that have already pre-ordered if they don't change the price before they pre-order? Then okay, they'd have to change the price now before anyone gets their hands on this system or pre-orders it in any way. Because then they have to issue refunds and explanations to the people who bought them, why they paid more. And like 2 days later, people are paying less. Okay. So if they want to do a price change, they have to do it before the 9th. Either they move the goalpost and they say, we're going to move it to the 15th of April to do our pre-orders. Either they move the pre-order date, they change the price, or they leave the price as it is. Either way, this is for the world. For America, we know that this is for us over here, it's a different story. We know that. But for the rest of the world, everyone knows that Gold did the pyramids. I mean, there's a lot of cool things surrounding the pyramids. A lot of cool theories. I think we got my oldest with Donkey Kong game 120. Wow. Really? $129. Wait, what year was this, Allison? What year was this? I just hope they will. They're more expensive to produce. They are. It's referred to as the Switch tax. It was Donkey Kong. Oh, was it Donkey Kong? I went back in time with my John Deere lift to get the bricks. I mean, Donkey Kong could build that pyramid. But it is, I don't know, I like looking into these serious things. And explain things, it's fun. Should I go digital this generation? I would encourage you to do so if you can bear the thought of not having physical. It's difficult. I went digital for this generation for the most part. I have a lot of Switch games. I guess you could say the prior generation now. I have a lot of physical Switch games, but for my PlayStation, but the second half of my let's say I made a shift. I was buying physical, and then I started deciding to buy digital, and all my games started being digital after a certain point with a Switch. but I started off with physical. And I had the same question you do, which is like, can my OCD, can my ADHD bear the fact that I have a digital copy rather than a physical copy? I did. I was able to. I was mostly going physical for the Switch One as a 90s kid. I like cartridges. With the larger games, more cartridges require downloads. Yeah, and they're talking about passkeys now too, right? Like games with passkeys and all. Ooh, it's one thing we can say for sure. The times are changing. Okay, this is a pivot moment right here. Okay, the switch to the whole tariff situation. This is a pivot moment in history. Now, where we're pivoting is the scary part, right? The scary part is not knowing where we're gonna land. The way I see it, we jumped off a cliff. We know there's thorns down below, and we know that there's trampolines down below. And the way I see it, we're going through the fog not knowing if we're gonna land on a trampoline or some thorns. I still can't figure out the passkey thing applies for all games or just, I haven't done much study into it. To be honest, that's why I didn't elaborate on it. I don't want to talk about things that I haven't looked into. I have read like news about it, like they're thinking of doing passkeys. Some games have been passkeys and whatnot, but I haven't gotten into the nitty-gritty of it, so I can't really. Perhaps here someone can educate us. Passkeys are basically a waste, e-waste. Yeah, I haven't studied it, so I can't pronounce very much. I'd be talking out of my butt. Yeah. Yeah, for now we wait on Nintendo to reveal anything and anything at all. I never finished this thought, but I was gonna say, in my personal opinion, I think the Switch 2 is gonna maintain its price for the US. And I think that this whole thing is gonna blow over. It's gonna be a bad nightmare. It's gonna be a bad dream in the end. And I'm not really like, perhaps I'm being optimistic, but it's just the way I feel. I feel like I don't feel like anything like crazy is gonna happen to the price of this. I don't see it happening. You play The Legend of Zelda? Hey, Alexander. Yeah, I do play Zelda, but we are not playing Zelda right now. This is a video that is playing. Played both of the games and High Milk. I say e-waste because it's a digital game with the limitations of a physical game. I guess you could resell them. Yeah, if you can resell them, that's a big victory for me. Yeah. There's a big debate, especially in Europe. I know the US too, but I know that in Europe, there's big petitions to end game licensing. So people are upset, and I'm included. I'm not like upset about it. I don't think it's right. I think when you buy a game, you should buy the game whatever you want with it, right? Like when you buy a game, you agree to a license of that game. You're basically licensing. You have a license to play that game rather than when you buy a microwave, or when you buy a bed cover, or when you buy some curtains, you buy a safe, whatever it is, you bought that thing is yours. You can paint those curtains if you want. You can spray paint Snoopy on them. You know, you can kit out your freaking safe if you want. You know, whatever it is, like the examples are infinite, right? But you get the gist. With games, you don't really own them, right? It's the licenses that you have to play that game, right? Why it always says. Now, what happens with that is most games, especially Nintendo, they will apply, like this is why Point Crow got sued by Nintendo, because the license says that you cannot mod this game or alter it in any way. And there's people out there altering the game with mods, and That's when the Nintendo. That's when Nintendo comes for you. So, of course, game companies want to keep it that way because they have the upper hand, and they can get away with more stuff if the game is licensed. Now, for the consumer, that's not the case. The consumer wants to. You bought something, you want to own it. You want to be able to do with it what you want. This is like ridiculous. It's like buying a car, but the salesman can like come back and say, "Hey, look, don't change your seats. Don't put a tree on your rear view." Like what are you talking about? Like, it's ridiculous. How do you sell a digital game? If it has a code, right? Like, for example, if you buy, it's like if you have an Amazon card, right? You get an Amazon card, and there's a code on that card that you need to put on Amazon, and then that gift card, once you put that code, is when it goes. You can sell that card, or you can sell just the code. You don't need the card, really. You just need the code. You can sell that code for the price of the gift card, right? The same thing with games. When you buy a bundle and it comes with a digital version, it usually comes with a code that you can put down. It happened with my PS5. I bought it with God of War Ragnarok, and it came with the code, and I ended up giving the code to a friend because I didn't care for the game. Point Crow, he was one of my favorite Zelda streamers. Nintendo suing him was dumb. Yeah, but they have the legal grounds to do it, and that's what the issue is, right? The issue is that they have legal grounds to do something that is absurd. The issue is that it is absurd to sue someone for this. This is like getting in a car crash, not getting hurt, pretending you got hurt, and then getting $90,000 off of it. I mean, yeah, the law is on your side, but it's absurd. This is like you trying to defend your house, and you shoot someone, and then you go to jail for it because you tried to defend your house. This is absurd. You know, you were defending yourself, right? But the law sometimes is absurd. And these things happen. And this is one of those cases where I think the law is absurd. Point Crow is still doing streams. I think he's fine. I don't know how the whole Nintendo suing thing, I didn't follow up on it, so I don't know how it ended. But he's still doing live streams and all that. Looks all chippity dippity. But a passkey is a cartridge that functions as a license. Okay. You can sell the cartridge and thus the license. Yes. We have such a bum system for the law. The law is flawed in many ways. The law is flawed in many ways because it was created by a man or a woman whose brain cannot account for every single possibility possibly happen in a... There's no way. No one human can account for every unpredictable scenario that might happen in the cosmos. There's no way. No one human can predict every wrong thing that could happen. Like, you see this happening a lot where people find ways around the law. It happens a lot, especially with taxes. Like, people find tax loops and such like that they avoid taxes. One way that they do that, for example, is keeping money in stocks. You can't tax a stock. So most rich people keep their money in stocks. So they're worth that money, but it's in a stock. Right? So what happens is, if your money is in a stock, like, they can't tax you that. You can't tax something you don't have. But the funny thing is, you can use that for a loan, or you can use that as a proof of what's the name? I forget the name, but you get the gist. Well, a judge, at the end of the day, how do you pick a judge? Especially people like the Supreme Court, right? It's very difficult, right? Those people have thoughts, those people have feelings. You know, you are who you are and you feel what you feel, man. And sometimes, yeah, people have biases. And how do you pick out of... I'm not attacking any of judge or anyone not taking no political sides here. I'm just saying, it's how do you pick a human being that's going to be fair? You never know. People grow up indoctrinated. People grow up, like when you grow up, you're taught to love your country. You're taught to love your family. You're taught to love your school and whatever it is. And this, you grow up with this indoctrination. So people always have biases, right? So to have someone be a judge, yeah, sometimes those people are gonna make decisions for their own gain, their own views. They're gonna take matters into their own hands. Right? This happens. You don't want it to happen, but something that happens. Yeah. But so yeah, there's plenty of ways where people cheat the system, and there's more ways. So many ways to laundry money by sending it to other country, other banks, or you can build a business in the U.S. that is registered in a different country. Then you pay taxes to that country, right? The U.S. And there's so many ways that people like circumvent things just to save up a pretty penny. And that's the way it is, man. And you can't stop these things. You can only adapt to them, right? I don't know how it is in the US, but in Canada, only half of the capital gains tax. It's a big advantage for people. Lots of money. Well, the US is a capitalist. Capitalism has its good things and its bad things. The problem with capitalism is that creates a big dichotomy between, if those who make it big, and those who don't are screwed. There's no coming back from it. So it's a big up and down. So you have with capitalism, you have both extremes, right? The good side of capitalism is that there's a free and open, there's an open trade and there's a free market, right? Which means that people are given a chance and you can make whatever you want of yourself. So good and bad, what's right, what's wrong, you know? It depends on what you want your government to do. If you want your government to be for the people, then you do things for the people. If you want your government to be run like a business so that it maximizes profit, then you want your government to be a business and maximize profit. It depends on what people want to do. Yeah, but not to get political, but that's the way I view it with government. Want to be for the people, you'll be for the people. Even if it's hard, even if it might cost more or not, and you want to be for, if you want to just look at it as a business, look at it as a, I am God, I know you are. System is screwed. The system is definitely flawed, and there's not going to be, unless a perfect beam of divine entity, someone like God or Jesus Christ comes down, and whether you believe it or not, but that's the only way that someone can make a decision that would account for every unknown variable that the universe has to offer. That's the only way, because no one human can make a perfect law. I feel I'm a religious person, so I believe in God, and I believe in that. That's me personally. I know that for some people it's very difficult to believe in God just because of, how am I supposed to believe something I've never seen? And and you see poverty and children dying. It's a very good question. Why do these things happen? There's also karma. I do believe in the energy of the universe. One thing I learned, Allison, one thing I learned to believe in is very interesting, that came from my mom and few women I dated. I believe in a woman's intuition, like the sixth sense. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I learned that thing exists. Like, I don't know if you guys believe in it, and I think it has to do with karma or energies. It is crazy, dude. Like women have this innate ability, like a sixth sense. I don't know what it is. They just know things crazy. They feel these things. There's a connection there in their brains or something. I don't quite understand it. But I've seen many examples of this in my life. Oh, Exit. I don't know if you're still here, Exit. I just read your message. Brother. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude, man. Karma is nothing without the source who created that energy. Well, I mean, everything is an ebb and flow. I want to believe in energy. Like there are many studies, perhaps a few, that go into the energy of sort of like an electromagnetic field that your brain emits. I don't know if you know what an electromagnetic field. When you have a discharge of a current that's going through, let's say, copper, for example, or whatever it is, a conductor, that creates an electromagnetic field around it, right? It's invisible to the air, to the eye, to the air. But every electricity creates a magnetic field, right? And I believe, and through those electromagnetic fields, we've been able to do great things in technology. They're very, very, very important, especially if coiled up in the form of a coil, because they stack. It's you can create lots of energy. You can create lots of energy with that, but I'm divergent. But I believe that human beings have this sort of like there's like an energy. I don't know if it's an energy. I gave the example of electromagnetic field, like almost because it's the best way. The best thing I could think that we know exists. Describe it, right? Tariffs, dude. Right now, tariffs, dude. Oh, what do you want me to do, man? I know tariffs are ongoing, man, and we gotta hope that Nintendo doesn't jack up the price. Oh boy. You mean we're all Super Saiyans? I mean, like, for example, I'll give you a concrete example. People usually don't believe me in this. I had a friend, I hadn't talked to her in a few days. And I was hanging out with two of my buddies. We're walking up the street. And this is a true story. And I'm sitting there, we're talking about completely, I forget what we were talking about, whatever it was. Nothing concerning this girl that I knew. And I stop in the middle of the road. And the two of them look back and say, "Hey, what's up?" I say, "This person's gonna call you." Like, "What do you mean?" And like 2 seconds later, the phone rings. It was her calling him. And I've had experiences like this in my life before, where you think of someone and that you kind of materialize them, right? And you could chalk this up to coincidence. If it wasn't so uncoincidental, right? If it wasn't so out of the blue, so uncommon. You know, if it's someone that you see every day and then you think of them and they show up, that's very common. We're talking about someone that you don't ever see, let's say for months, and you think of them and then they call you. Yeah. That's what I mean by humans have a connection that we don't understand. And I think it has to do with the soul. There is a strand of DNA that people, what was the name? I think they call it the Christ DNA or something like that, which is a strand of DNA that we don't know what it does. Ah, gosh, I hate when I start talking about things and I forget like the premise of it. I'm not going to talk more about it. I'm going to study it. Next stream, I'll talk about it. But there is basically the gist of it is that there's a strand of DNA that is not explained. That we all, I don't know if it's all we all share or whatever it is, but it connects back to God is the theory. Magneto is my favorite Marvel character. He's very cool. Magneto is super cool. Magnetic fields have a lot of uses. Oh yeah. And I use them for surgical robot arms, position themselves in space because it can measure the strength of a static field as it moves. That's super cool. That's super cool. I'm more aware of magnetic fields when it comes to more to mechanic. I was a diesel mechanic for quite a while, so that's more the field that's where I got more of the knowledge from. From Mario Kart to this. Don't tell me you're not having fun, Meowie. I'll be a god over Saiyan. I mean, you could be a Super Saiyan God. That's actually a thing. Evening Frosty. Oh, Luna, evening. I love listening to you, Frosty. There you go. Luna, thank you. Oh, no, Luna. With the fudge. Oh my gosh, Luna. No way you did not do that. No way you did just do that to Frosty. My hair is starting to get greasy. I washed it like a day ago. Alright, I just looked at the camera. I was like, this mother flipping hair is starting to get greasy. Just saying hello to my Frosty friend. Big hugs. And have a lovely night. Much love to all and have an awesome week. Oh, love you, Luna. Thank you so much. Zed is here. Zed! Zed, how are you not asleep, dude? Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. It's not. But Zed is up in the, You heard your... Yeah, your mom was here hanging out with us talking about the, We're talking about, Dalmatians, the Illuminati, and, George Washington. Oh, we also talk about birthday candles. Frosty wants to collab soon, Zed. Look at this, Allison. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Look at that. Yes, it says yes. Am I reading this right? Am I reading this right? It says, yes, I wanna collab. No, forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive my bad English, I guess. But that means yes, it means affirmative, right? We'll see about that, Zed. What do you want? I know you have a thing is for... You just want to hang out with Pat. Never want to hang out with me. I still don't have a soundbite in your channel. I've always been jealous of that. Just say no. Savage. Just say no. Completely up to you, Zed. I like to pull his leg, but if you don't want to, it's completely fine. Man, don't take it personally. A game race? Yeah, we did Odyssey. We did Odyssey last time. Sorry, my mustache is a little droopy. It's a little droopy, but it's okay. Usually I have it like all perked up and in formation, but a little droopy tonight. By the way, I have a soundbite recorded. I need to upload it to Streamlabs. Oh yeah, what's the soundbite? What does it say? What am I saying? Frosty and Zed, Strangers of Paradise color. Ooh, that's a hot take. The Paradise. I don't think people would be very interested to see that. Split fiction is a commitment. Split fiction is a good idea, but it's a commitment. That would have to be more than one collab. That would have to be more than one. We'd have to like finish the game together. Unless I get a different streamer every time. Oh boy. My sister says it's so hard. Really? Like Split Fiction? I'd be honored to do another one. No, absolutely. JJ, welcome in. Personally, I like the Painted Melissa. Oh. Stream series of Split Fiction. Yeah. Frosty and Zed. My what? Mayorio Bros. Dude, I couldn't read that, not even with my glasses. I put my good glasses on tonight. These actually have a prescription. These are not just blue light. She makes it seem like it's harder than it takes to, for some reason. Split Fiction is a game that two people play. So it's kind of like a split screen game. And you basically, you have all these kinds of obstacles and you have to work together to like overcome these obstacles. There's a big famous game also known as X2. It was a one game of the year, I think 2003. One of those. Very famous game. I don't know if you're familiar, but yeah. It's basically a collab game. It's meant to be played with two. The Switch 2 would go to 46%. I don't think that's going to happen, JJ. I've talked about it a little bit here. I don't mind talking about it again. I think it's not going to be 46%. It's not going to be. Nintendo is not going to raise the price to $629. Even if they want to be vindictive, or if they want to meet tariff for tariff, I don't think they're gonna do. It's Volpaxi. How are you, Volpaxi? I think you're Banaxi. I'm gonna say you're Banaxi. Just a guess. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Tariffs are dumb. Yeah, they can be useful, but I don't think that just throwing tariffs at everyone, I don't see the point of it. But if in the long run it helps everybody, then fine. But if in the long run it just hurts everybody, so far it's just been hurting people, really. Like, I don't think anyone's benefiting from this so far. Like, everything, the prices are going up on everything. Like, people are confused, you know? Like, everything is just a big mess. Like, so far, like, if it ends up that it's a good thing, then it's a good thing. But I certainly would not put my money on it. Switch 1 generation was very profitable for them. Yeah, the Switch 1 was very profitable. They sold 51 million, I think. They were 6 million copies shy of the PlayStation. These are rounded numbers. They're about 6 million copies shy of the PlayStation. Good. The best-selling console of all time. The PlayStation 2, I think, sold 56. You're gonna wait a bit. Do you like Zelda? Oh yeah, your girl Kaylee. I love Zelda. Absolutely. Right now we're not playing Zelda. We're just talking. It was a chatting stream. I do love Zelda. Absolutely, 100%. Nintendo alts on a lot of. They can, but they're not gonna miss out on the US market. They're not gonna pass on the. I don't know how much the US account. But I know if it's not more than Japan. Like, the US accounts for. I don't think that even with tariffs, I don't think they would do anything to jeopardize that market, right? I think with the Switch, Nintendo has very few options. These are the options they have. They move the date. They announce a new date. and they work this out longer. They move the pre-order date. Second, they lower the price on the Switch. Okay, they lower the actual price, and then the tariff itself, if they impose a tariff, the tariff would put the Switch at the price that they actually wanted to sell it. So they would put the Switch at $400, and the tariff would be, these are bullcrap numbers, so just as an example, the tariff would be $50. It'd go down to it'd go to 450. I don't know if this is something they'd be willing to do, but it's an option they have. So long as they haven't pre-ordered any, you know, nobody's ever bought the console, so it's not like they, but I don't know what kind of internal agreements they have. Perhaps they can't change the price. There might be contracts and things in place that say you cannot change this price or you can't do that. I mean, Nintendo has like 2 floors worth of lawyers. They have 2 stories full of lawyers. If they can sue Pal World for jack nothing, they can find a way to like reverse the price. If I were them, but they don't have a lot of options. Or the third option is they implement the tariff with the place with the price that the Switch is. American consumer will suffer the consequences. Of course, Nintendo had something like a 14 billion USD cash on 14 billion. Nah, Nintendo is at like a 52 billion or something. Yeah, Nintendo has the money of a small country. Nintendo has as much GDP as a small country. They take a lot of money in software. I wonder how tariffs, just for comparison, like Portugal has a GDP of 700 something billion. Okay. 700 something billion. Nintendo owns 52 billion. Just as a small, Portugal is a pretty big country. I'm gonna hop off. Sounds good, Bonaxi. I'm gonna wait a year after Switch 2 comes out before I get one, probably. I don't know if that's the greatest idea. I don't know. Perhaps that is the best course of action, to be honest. Perhaps that's smart. And they make a lot of money on software. Not just software. They make software. Nintendo has their fingers in so many pies, it's not even fun. Just the Pokemon Company, I think, is worth 100 billion. That's the Pokemon Company. They get shares out of that. It's like these guys are shooting money out their buttholes like they have intense diarrhea. What do I think it costs to make? Honestly, don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never looked into it. I'd be, your guess would be as good as mine. I never looked into it. I'm not talking about the worth of the company. I'm talking about money and cash form. Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. I took it a different direction. They have on hand to spend 14 billion. Jesus, that's still a lot. Yeah, you think Nintendo could sell their games for $50? Bro, Nintendo could sell their games for $50 and be fine. And be absolutely fine. Nintendo has almost 80 billion and holds 14 billion in cash on hand. Yep. Yeah. That's what I read, but I went a different, my brain went a different direction. What are your thoughts on the Switch 2? You going to get it? I'm going to try and get it. I'm gonna wait, see how the situation develops with the whole tariff situation, see how the price. I am interested in seeing how the price story goes, how how the price is going to move. But my intention is to get it day one. From my Googling, apparently tariffs only apply to... Googling is for tariffs only apply to tangible goods. So not services or software. I guess they could apply parts. That's interesting. Yeah, but they can still apply it to the Switch console, to all of the hardware and accessories, right? But not the digital. That means that everybody's going to be buying digital in America. if the tariffs go into play. If they apply tariffs, then everybody's going to buy digital. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I don't mind. If digital is like $50 cheaper, even $10 cheaper, I might lean that way, to be honest with you. I might lean that way. Screw it. Gotta save that money. Ain't got moolah. Ain't no foolah. Alright, boys. We're gonna go on a raid. We're not even gonna play Mario Kart tonight. It was just there for show. It was there for show. We pretend that we played Mario Kart. We'll pretend. Well, technically, we did watch Mario. Let's go over to exits. This is his birthday. Oh shoot! I walked in right as he had that potty mouth on. Right as he said the big F ducky. Oh boy, we try to be PG here, so let me go get this great stream, Frosty. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm ready to go rest. It's about my bedtime is around 10 o'clock, so I'm just about ready to down. Let's see. Thank you guys. Hey guys, one thing before we go. You please if you guys are new here, you haven't subscribed, you enjoyed our little talk, consider subscribe. That'd be great. Leave a like. It helps me become famous. I won't even sugarcoat it. It helps me become famous on YouTube. Not that I care too much about being famous, but I want the channel to succeed. So it helps me succeed with my channel. So if you want to show support for that, let's go ahead and do it. We're so close to 4K subs, and we're about 3 subs away from 4K. Let's get those subs going. If you just found the channel, hit that subscribe button. Might be number 4,000. Thank you all for the support tonight. Thank you, Luna, for the 5. Thank you so much. All right, we're close to 4K. Please sub. Yeah, it's been going up very slowly. It's funny when I hit 3,999. Like it's almost like we hit a dam, right? Like you shall not pass. Like something happened. Like we hit like I lost like 10 subs. Like all of a sudden, it's kind of like been going up and down. And I think it's alt accounts, because alt accounts, like YouTube purchase alt accounts, and then like 10 accounts that were up to you that were alt. But anyways, let's go raid Zed. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys a bunch. Thank you for showing support for the stream. I know that was a lot of support tonight. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Dinbulb, is a pleasure to meet you, Dinbulb. You're very smart, very well informed, well spoken person. I enjoyed our talk. So yeah, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's go raid exit. I'm gonna drop the link. Benito, I love this guy. Benito is I always like seeing Benito here. Benito is just a cool dude. Hope you come back. Good night, Allison. You have a great night. Good night to Zed as well. Hope you come back to us, Tim. Look, Meowie misses you already. Let's go. All right, guys. As always, stay frosty, be good, do good, and good things will happen to you. And that's the way of the universe, and you guys know it. So I'll see you tomorrow for another stream. Bye. Bye, guys. Let's go raid.